Three, I count.
Welcome. Welcome, members and friends and supporters of the Sierra Club. Welcome to you in the room, and welcome to all the people that watch us online. I'm Ed Maurer and your MC tonight. Welcome to our All Orange County Open House. The Sierra Club dates back to 1892, and it was founded by John Muir. The president elected in 1892 was Grover Cleveland, who was also the first president of the United States to be elected to a second term, non-consecutive. And this year, Donald Trump repeated this feat last November, and unfortunately, his election represents a direct attack on the values of the Sierra Club. While I was watching the inaugural speech on my laptop, I decided I need to multitask. I just couldn't handle it. So I went into the backyard and picked up dog poop. Hearing the litany of grievances and ideas of a bygone era put me in a somber mood, and it reminded me of a solar eclipse, where from one moment to the next, it's sunny, and then it's dark. And you can hear the birds sing, and the next moment it's quiet. And I realized that this eclipse is not just going to be for a few minutes, but for 4 long years. But perhaps here in California, we will be able to continue in the forefront of mitigating and adapting to climate change, regardless of what Washington wants. I hope as a state that we will remain in the Paris Accord and that we will continue to work with other cities and countries around the world to make sure future generations will have a livable planet. This is really what the Sierra Club is about. It's important to remember what our mission statement is: to explore, enjoy, and protect the wild places of the earth, to practice and promote the responsible use of the earth and ecosystems and resources, to educate and enlist humanity to protect and restore the quality of the natural and human environment, and to use all lawful means to carry out these objectives. That's the mission, at the beginning of the mission statement of the Sierra Club. We have over 3.5 million members in the United States, and we have members in each of the 50 states, and I hope we will prevail. Next slide. Next slide. And this is the program, and we do the next slide right away. All right. The Sierra Club in Orange County is organized, like ancient Gaul, into 3 groups. And this open house, this purpose is that members from San Clemente to from Yorba Linda to San Clemente and from Silverado Canyon to Huntington Beach can be together and not in their silos in the separate 3 groups. And the idea of the open house is that you have a chance to talk to Sierra Club activists, and after they talk to you with their presentations, you can talk to us. We'll have a question-answer period. You may fill out a card and send the questions up front, or you can just speak the questions. But we are eager to hear from you. And online participants need to email their questions or comments to us. Send me an email, and my email address will appear one of these days on one of the slides. Earlier this month, the LA area went through a wrenching experience with terrific wildfires that eviscerated entire communities. Our hearts go out to the thousands of families that are suddenly homeless. And I hope that decent solutions can be found for them, for all of them. I'm afraid, though, that this is going to take a long time and that it will affect all of us. I'm worried that the new president, sworn in just 2 days ago, is more interested in buying Greenland than in helping California. And here is my personal, modest proposal for our transactional president. Why don't you pick up the phone and call the King of Denmark and say, "Hey, Mr. King, here is Donald. How about we make a deal? You give me Greenland, which I love, and I give you California, which I hate." But please recognize this is just one of my harebrained ideas. But let's get down to business. Before we hear from our presenters, I'd like to ask the members of the ExComs and other commissions to rise. Stand up, the people that are active in the Sierra Club, because you're our heroes. You are spending lots of your valuable time with the Sierra Club and on behalf of our members. You lead our hikes, you maintain our trails, you organize our groups, you appear and speak at public meetings, and much, much more. Thank you. I'd like to recognize two people who are responsible for making this show here work, and that is Linda Power and Todd Fitch. Without them, the meeting would not proceed as it has so far. Thank you. Next slide. The month of January, named after the two-faced Roman god of Janus, is a time to look backward and to look forward. And looking toward the future, looking backwards. And I'm glad to say that the Sierra Club in Orange County in 2024 organized a lot of hikes, a lot of meetings, a lot of programs, and we can be very proud of what we did, and I hope the members also enjoyed of what we provided for them. Looking toward the future is always speculative, but what seems clear now is that environmental protections are not on the new administration's priority list. This means that we have to work locally, much harder than we have in the past. And I am sure that our 3 Orange County groups will shine at city council meetings, at the Transportation Commission, etc., and so forth. We need to raise questions and ask these bodies what they are going to do to the environment to protect future generations. Next slide. So now I was working as the MC, now I'm going to work as the chair of the Sierra Sage group of South Orange County. Our members elected a new board last fall, and earlier this month we had our first meeting, and we're in the process of getting organized. As you can see, we've got our hands full. Well, let's see another slide. There we go. That is Sierra Sage for 2025. And you can see that we have our hands full, and we can always use help from people outside of this group here. This is a fun group, and we meet once a month. Among the many actions Sierra Sage will be involved in is the battery electric storage system that has been proposed for San Juan Capistrano. The property for this project has been sold by Saddleback Church to a Compass Energy Storage. An application for the construction of this electric battery facility has been filed with the California Energy Commission. Next slide. If they approve of the application, and that is certainly not certain, there will be public hearings in which Sierra Sage will actively participate together with the National Sierra Club. The National Sierra Club has a policy that supports battery electric storage systems. And this will be our opportunity to show that this installation is of a much newer and better technology than the plant that just caught fire at Moss Landing in Northern California. Read all about this project in current and past issues of the OC Sierran, our email newsletter. But enough about Sierra Sage. Now I have the pleasure of handing over the mic to Marcia Garten of the Orange County Group.
I'll
Oh, thank you. Is that okay? Okay. Well, thank you all so very much. I have the honor of following Ed, which is a very difficult place to be in, but I'm so happy to be here. And we'll go ahead with our next slide, our first slide. Yes, I can be louder. So can we go to the next slide? Yes, please. Thank you. There's a little bit more to it. Oh, of course there is. Oh. I think there's one before that. No. So unfortunately, I apologize. There's a little bit missing to this slide. There should be the list of our entire board. We also are a fun group, and we also meet once a month. And our new president, Sherry Sisson, has been elected, and that was on the slide. Missing somehow it fell off. I apologize. Okay, and that's okay too. We'll have that fixed, and we'll be adding that on there as well. We have a very diverse group. We've got lots of new members, and this is a wonderful photo of our board members. There's Donna and Julie, and John is our vice. I don't have a pointer, but I could share with you, and we'll just go to the next slide. We'll just keep it moving. How about that? So the next slide will show the map, and the Central Orange County Group stretches from Yorba Linda down to Irvine. And this is a wonderful, is it okay if I move? Oh, can you go back? So this is a wonderful photo from our Orange County Fair event where we had volunteers putting on these tattoos on, where we do a lot of outreach. We have a couple of other slides. Go ahead to the next one, please. And this was our outreach event for the Orange County Fair. We were awarded first prize, which was very exciting. Our first and second year. We'll be also going again next year. The Orange County Fair has 55,000 people a day coming to visit, so we do an outreach for 5 days. We had 20 volunteers manning our booth. And raise your hand if you were at the fair last year. Way up high, okay. Great. So that was wonderful, and we have all of that set up. We're also encouraging folks with disabilities to properly participate. Next slide. This is another outreach that we do. Was the Eco Expo, and that was in Anaheim, where they had an Eco Expo with environmental friendly vehicles that you could test drive, which is very productive. Next slide. Another event we do every year is the Orange County Senior Expo in Irvine, and that's extremely well attended, and we enjoy working with the community there as well. And then the next slide. And then this is our monthly Bolsa Chica wetlands hike, and this goes on. Donna has led this for many, many years, and Donna's here in the audience, and we're so grateful for all of her work. It's the third Saturday of every month, and a variety of team members, and it's a very nice easy 3 to 4 mile hike in the mornings, and we highly recommend and hope to see you on the trail. I think that's the last slide. Yes, so I will now happy to introduce Mike Bressler, if he would like to come up, or... Okay, great. So Mike can take it away. Thank you so much.
Okay, can you hear me? Yes. Can you hear me?
Louder.
You hear me now? Yes. Okay, great. Great. This is Mike Bressler. I'm the chair of the Rio Hondo Group, and we're a group that spans both North Orange County and Southern LA County. And I'm very happy to be able to share some words about our group here. But first, I want to thank Ed and Linda and Todd for setting this up and for their work in trying to get together the different Orange County groups. And I think now more than ever, that's something that's really important. We're in my view, in some unprecedented times, and it's going to be more important than ever to, do what we can to protect our natural areas and to do what we can to protect this planet. And so the Rio Hondo Group, okay, let me move on to the next slide. Where we have a map of the different groups, and we changed our boundaries a bit over the past few years, but essentially we cover the area ranging from Norwalk to Brea, and from Whittier down to through Fullerton, and we in local governmental officials. We've been supportive of, contacting and getting involved in with our local representatives on issues of importance to, to what we see as the club values, protecting nature, and the planet, climate change, etc. And I believe that's the last slide. Again, I want to give thanks for this effort, which I hope will be very successful in getting greater coordination between the different Orange County groups. And next, I want to pass the baton on to Helen Mauer.
I know I can't see what I'm doing here. Okay,
I hope you can hear me. Let's see, next slide, please. There we go. Okay. Instead of telling you what Todd and I do as co-chairs for the Outings Committee of Sierra Sage, I want to talk to you about the outdoor things that you can do with the Sierra Club. Many of us joined the Sierra Club on account of their outings. We just simply like being outdoors. And we have a lot of ways of doing this. Next slide, please. On the local level, we have day hikes, ranging from easy to strenuous, to appeal to hikers of varying abilities and interests. On some often designated family hikes, you can bring your kid along. On others, you may be able to bring your dog. These hikes offer an opportunity to get your exercise while discovering places you never knew existed, or perhaps revisiting old favorites, along with a group of like-minded people who soon become friends. Our Wednesday morning hikes, occurring every week, are classic. Some specific outings occur on a weekly or a monthly basis. These are repeating activities. We have weekly conditioning hikes for those who want to get or stay in shape. Tuesday evenings in Fullerton seem to be easier and more social. Wednesday evenings in the Hills area of Brea are more strenuous. Monthly, there are Saturday afternoon hikes in the Turtle Rock Trails area of Irvine. And on Sunday mornings, there are newcomer hikes in Huntington Beach in the Bolsa Chica Ecological Reserve. These are monthly, and they happen on the third weekend of the month. That's at least, I don't know what you do when the weekend is split, but anyway. Look in the calendar and you'll see. Next slide, please. In a category all to itself, we have monthly trail maintenance. This happens on the first Saturday of the month when weather permitting and in the cooler season. And this is for those who want to give back to help keep our trails in shape, ready for everybody to use. Equipment is provided. Participants take part in cutting back brush or working on the trail tread, which is really heavy work. When you're done, you're filthy, you're tired, but you feel pretty good about what you've accomplished. Farther afield, Next slide, please. We have weekend car camping trips, for instance, out to Anza-Borrego. Participants stay at reserved sites in a campground and enjoy the walks, hikes, and other available activities particular to the area, the place where you're staying. The capacity of these hikes tends to be somewhat limited, so it's important to sign up early. Next slide, please. For people looking for more serious adventure, maybe, there are backpacking trips in the Sierra Nevada and elsewhere. Participants carry their own gear, as well as a part of the food and the communal gear for the group. You hike from point to point each day, with perhaps one layover day, somewhere about the midpoint. The terrain and level of difficulty of these trips varies considerably, from easy all-trail trips to challenging cross-country. There's something there for everyone in search of a real wilderness experience. Next slide, please. But if backpacking seems a bit much to you, there are mule pack trips. For those of us who have outgrown or aged out of backpacking, or who simply like having a mule carry the weight for them. Packers will take your stuff, pack it up, take your stuff to the designated campsite that your group has planned on. While you walk in a lightweight backpack, day pack. That's nice. And then the packers return at the end of the trip to haul everything back out. During your stay, you may hike, fish, be as active or as lazy as you want. It's lovely to spend some days out in the wild. Each year, the Sierra Club offers a wilderness travel course, which we refer to as the WTC, for those seeking to learn skills needed for safe and comfortable backpacking and other wilderness travel. These include navigation and route finding, selection of gear, clothing, and food, safety issues and first aid, leave no trace camping, and personal conditioning. All these things are necessary. You'll participate in several outings, gain practical experience, culminating in a snow camping trip. A lot of people have done this and have enjoyed it a lot. Finally, how about an international trip? Next slide, please. Both the Angeles chapter and National Sierra Club offer trips to other countries. These combine sightseeing with walking or hiking, and the ratio of one to the other varies from trip to trip, as does the level of physical difficulty. Whether you're looking for easy walks or day-long hikes, you'll find that travel on foot provides a different and rewarding perspective of the world. And finally, if you get hooked on participating in outings, you might consider becoming an outings leader. And the Sierra Club offers a leadership training course, the LTC, to become an official Sierra Club leader. And we welcome you to do this. I guess at this point I need to change hats because I'm also to say a few words about the Conservation Committee. Yeah. I wasn't kind of prepared at the last minute, so forgive me if I read it, and I'm blind as a bat, so I have to get this under my nose. This is a county-wide committee, conservation committee, representing all our groups that identifies and keeps track of environmental and conservation issues right here in OC. We inform the chapter of what's going on, and if action is to be taken, we would most likely be among the Sierra Club's point people on the ground. Past major actions in which we've been involved has been the shutdown of San Onofre and what is to happen with the remains of the nuclear material there, and opposition to the toll roads expansion. The committee is currently going through a period of transition and reorganization, so stay tuned. We hope to hold a regular meeting of the committee ASAP, at which time all interested members will be welcome to join in and perhaps decide they want to stay with the committee. And now let me introduce Linda Power, our programs chair, who will speak to you about programs and I think about volunteering.
Yeah, so, when I've been a member of the Sierra Club for a long time, and I haven't been active because I've been, all work. But the first hike I went on was one of these Wednesday morning hikes. I signed up, it was during COVID, and I needed something to do, and it was Helen and Ed that were leading the hike. And I tell you what, I said to myself, one day, I would like to be a strong hiker like Helen. I'm still not there. So, I'd like to also introduce my co-chair for programs and events. This is a program. And that is Doug right here. If you have questions or ideas about programs, please speak to either Doug or myself. Next slide. Here's our schedule, and I'll tell you what, it's the Wednesday of every other month, and these are the dates. So today we have our open house. I don't have anything filled yet for March 6th, but on May 28th, the Surf Riders National are planning to do a presentation on plastic pollution. And if you get a chance, go on their website and find out one of their great beach cleanups. I went on one last weekend, and you'll see why we have to worry about plastic, if you haven't already heard. So I'm looking for volunteers and speakers for July 23rd, September 24th, and November 19th. Next slide. Transitioning into volunteer opportunities, here's a chance for you to get involved at any level, at any time. There are dozens and dozens of opportunities to find your passion and find others like yourself who may enjoy working together on whatever it is your passion is. You've heard some of the other people's passions here. One of mine is Earth Day. We have tables all over the county. We cooperate with other groups within Angela's chapter, and we talk with young people, old people, everybody who really don't even know who the Sierra Club is and what we do and what we bring to the planet. So there's a great opportunity. How do you find Earth Day opportunities? Well, it's Saturday, April 26th. We're going to celebrate Earth Day. It's a few days after Earth Day. It's actually on the 22nd this year. Does anybody know how to Google these words? Angela's Chapter, Sierra Club, Earth Day. And you will find places where you can volunteer and join us in celebration of the earth and Audubon planting, and there are children's expos, and lots of fun things to do. Next slide. Earth Day isn't your deal. Helen's already talked about this. Some of you who have been on hikes with us, where did Marigold go? There you are. I met Marigold a long time ago on a hike, and she was very, very interested in becoming a leader of hikes. Here in this room, I bet you we have at least a half a dozen, if not more, leaders, and they've all gone through this training. It's not my thing, but I love it that people like Ed and Helen and Marigold and many of you make sure that I get to the top of the hill, around the corner, and back to my car without a worry. They set up the hikes, they make sure the hikes go well. They remind us, you guys, they remind us, finish your water, you only got 20 minutes left. Finish your water now. So, Todd and Leslie are great hiking leaders as well. If that's your shtick, and if you want to join the leadership training program, there are lots of trainings. You'll learn first aid, navigation, rock and snow, and you'll get a training seminar as well. So it's a way to sort of reinvent yourself as a leadership hiking trail. When you come out and hike on Wednesdays or Saturdays, you'll see there are two leaders. One is the head, one is the tail, and you stay in between and you're safe forever. Okay, the next slide is maybe Earth Day's not your deal, and maybe, hiking is your deal, but you don't want to be a leader. Too much responsibility for me, I'll tell you. We need volunteers for the Harwood Lodge. Have you ever been there? It's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Built in 1930 as a memorial to Miss Aurelia Harwood, past president of the Sierra Club Angeles chapter. So it's named after her, and if you would like to know more about the Harwood Lodge and how to volunteer to become a host there, you can simply Google Angeles Chapter Sierra Club Harwood Lodge, or you can take down this little Harwood 1930 at yahoo.com and communicate. Or if you really want to volunteer and stake your claim right now, we have a couple of people, will you please stand up, who are looking for volunteers. Donna? Go talk to Donna about the Harwood Lodge. She chairs the annual fundraiser. It's going to be September 20th and 21st this year, and she's already, if I know Donna, she's already started on it. So there you have it. I'd like to introduce you now to Margie, who's going to talk about our political committee. You want some help? No? Easy peasy. There you go.
Hi, everybody. My name is Margie Hills, and I'm the chair of the Orange County Political Committee. And I'm a member of the Rio Hondo Group, and I'm also on their executive committee. And I'm also an outings leader, and I'm active on the Puente Chino Hills Task Force. So I work in a lot of different things in the Sierra Club, and I really love and value the club and everything that I can do with it, and the difference the club makes in the world. And okay, so here's a picture. So last year was a really busy year for us. general election, right? And you're on the political committee, right? So what do you do? So one of the things we do is we help elect candidates to office. And as part of that, we often work on their campaign. So here's a picture of me and Marcia Garton and Donna Watkins and Lynn Heil. We're canvassing for Dave Min for Congressional District 47. Now, he actually was elected. It was yay. He replaced Katie Porter's seat in kind of Irvine, Huntington Beach area, for those of you that know the congressional districts. Anyway, so that's so next slide. So the purpose of this slide, I'm not going to really go through it in detail, but there are sort of three pieces to the Sierra Club, what I call the three-legged stool. There's outings, which has been discussed. There's conservation, which has been discussed. And there's the political aspect of the club. And it is an important part of the club that's integrated into the club. It's all important to the club. So, I mean, we work to elect people to office, but it's more than that. It's building relationship with the people that are elected. And it's also encouraging our members to participate in the political process, to canvass, to help endorse candidates. It's just to be aware of issues, electoral, political issues. And, you know, as you can imagine, the next 4 years are going to be kind of stressful for the Sierra Club as far as environmental action. But we want to build relationships with our elected officials, people that we help elect, and make a difference. And we've done that, and we will continue to do that. So, and actually, this is right out of the Sierra Club political team guidelines. This is actually right at the beginning of it, what the mission and purpose of the political committee is throughout the country. And I just want to also mention, just on this chart, that we are not we don't support one political party over the other, although there's one party that's perhaps more environmentally oriented than the other, but that doesn't mean that we don't support candidates from either party. Or try to work with people from either party. We work with whoever we can. Okay, next chart. So the Orange County is part of the Angeles chapter. So the Angeles chapter is LA and Orange County. And so the Angeles chapter actually has two political committees. There's the LA political committee and the Orange County political committee. And we work together on things. And so we endorsed candidates last year, and this summarizes, you know, how successful we were. So the county committees endorse people at the local level. So for Congress and for the state legislature, and also for city councils and water districts and that sort of thing. So and then the Sierra Club as a whole, though, does endorse at the higher level, but that's, you know, at a different level than my committee, the Orange County Political Committee. But this just summarizes the success that we had, and we really had a lot of success at the congressional level. We endorsed five congressional candidates, and we elected 4. So in Orange County now, we have 4 elected people that we've supported. Congressional District 46, which is Lou Correa, a Congressional District 49, which is Mike Levin, a Congressional District 47, which is Dave Min, and Congressional District 45, which is Derek Tran, and that is the biggest victory of all. He defeated an incumbent. An incumbent is very difficult to unseat, especially at the congressional level. And actually up in LA County, we were successful as well. George Whiteside unseated an incumbent. So you think about this election as being a landslide, but truthfully, we did make a difference in Congress. We here in the Angeles chapter made a difference, and it feels really good. And, I mean, a small difference, but anyway. Anyway. And then we endorsed, so this lists our things. We endorsed 4 state candidates, and only one was elected, Cotty Petri-Norris. And at the local level, we endorsed in all the 3 biggest cities in the county. We endorsed candidates for running in Anaheim and in Irvine and in Santa Ana. And since I've been on the committee, and I've been on it a while, I don't remember us ever endorsing in Anaheim or in Santa Ana. But anyway, we did it, and we had some success there. And you can see who we've elected there. So I think I'll move on to the next slide. So what are we up to this year? So what are we up to? So there are some special elections that are upcoming, and we will be endorsing in those. There's a district in Irvine where we're going to be endorsing a candidate. We don't know who yet. We're still working on that. And then Senate District 36, which is up in the Huntington Beach. It's actually along the coast, starts at Huntington Beach. It goes along the coast, Newport Beach, maybe even down into Laguna. We're going to be making an endorsement there. There's going to be a primary. I think it's going to start maybe next week is the primary, I think. And then there'll be a general election. And Doug is going to be working on that. Okay, and then we're also, every year the Sierra Club holds a fundraiser to give awards to environmental leaders, people that are elected to office, or sometimes nonprofits, and to raise money for our candidates. So in the odd numbers years, it's Orange County's turn to do it, and then the LA County Political Committee does in even years, which is harder because that's always an election year. So we're going to have that at the Norma Herzog Center on August 10th, and we'll be working on that. Endorsements, and then we're also going to be meeting with our elected officials to talk to them about environmental issues. And so we meet monthly, 7:15 on the 3rd Thursday by Zoom, sometimes in person. And we'd love to have people join our committee. We could use some more people. We're small and mighty, but anyway, we could use more. So we'd love to have you. There's my contact information if you're interested. So next slide. Here's a few pictures of different activities. Marcia Garton's featured prominently again in many of these charts. So the first chart there is shows us with Jessie Lopez. She ran for Santa Ana City Council. She was an incumbent. She was reelected. Many of these candidates, they start off behind, and then as the blue shift takes place, they move ahead, and she was one as well. So this is Marcia and I. We were at the, so Santa Ana, different cities do it different ways, but Santa Ana holds an event to acknowledge all their new council people, and it's a really great event. It was really fun. They had dances, and they had, what do you call it, a lion dance, and they had drums, and it was amazing. And so that's me and Marcia with Jessie Lopez. In the center, again, canvassing for Derek Tran, yay. So that's Marcia, Morgan Goodwin, chapter director, Mike Bresler from the Rio Hondo Group, and me in canvassing in Brea for Derek Tran. And then the last shot is again, Morgan, me, and that's Allison Chin, Sierra Club president of the board of directors at a rally in Buena Park. And you can see behind us, see up there is Bill Clinton. So I attended a rally that for Derek Tran where Bill Clinton was at, and also a rally where Gavin Newsom was at. Anyway, that's what I like to do. Orange County Political Committee. I like politics. I always feel like I love canvassing. I like to go out. Well, I tell people, first of all, it's a three-fer, right? You get to talk to people, and you get to exercise, and you also get to check out people's yards, and see what they're doing, I don't know. I just enjoy it. Anyway, and I always feel like I'm making a difference, right? Right, you guys? So people that have canvassed, they know what I'm saying. Anyway, I guess I've rambled on enough. So anyway, if you'd like to join the political committee, we'd love to have you, and we have fun. So anyway, thank you.
Thank you.
Next.
Finally, I'd like to talk about our newsletter that is called the OC Sierran, that I hope all of you are familiar with. It's the online publication for all of Orange County, and it goes back to 1992 when it was published under the name of Sierra Sage, and it was strictly the newsletter for the Sierra Sage group. But then in 2023, we expanded, and it has now become the newsletter for all of Orange County, of all our 4 entities. And the goal of this newsletter is to report on environmental issues as well as on Orange County issues. And it comes out every second month, and it goes to about 22,000 email addresses. Alas, less than half opened an email. So let's hope over time we can increase the percentage of people that are actually opening the newsletter. This year we will continue doing what we have been doing, and we may be becoming a little more active in urging people to participate because of the times we're in. And we will hopefully by the end of the year have some innovations. And one of them is kind of behind the scenes. We need to have indexing so that people can find issues or matters that we covered in past issues, which you cannot do now. And the other is that we have gotten the green light to do some advertising. But again, that will take some time because the income we can use to possibly hire somebody to do the indexing, which is very tedious. And if you have something to say, write a letter to the editor of the OC Sierran or submit an article. We'd love to hear from you and put it into the newsletter. Since it is an electronic publication, we've got all the space in the world. And now we are coming to the question and answer period. And I'll ask those that have spoken to come and sit here. And then I hope the public here and also online will have some questions that will be answered. And whoever answers the question needs to stand here so that the people online can actually see you. And Linda Power will conduct this part of the program. And after that, I hope you will take time to, again, use the opportunity to talk to some of the officials here.
Okay, everybody, you must have some questions, of course. So many things that you learned about today. I'll help you. How do I get involved with? Anybody? We were so thorough that there wasn't a need for questions.
Is it live? What? Come here. Oh, come there. I just want to acknowledge Ed because for putting together the Orange County newsletter. I really think it's helped our groups in Orange County to work together, and I just think it's great, and I just feel like there's more interaction between our different groups than there was before. So, thank you, Ed.
Okay, so that's it. Good
Were there
night.
any online questions?
Are there any online questions?
Well,
Any email questions?
no questions.
Just checking.
Well, sorry?
We were very thorough.
We were very thorough. We answered all questions. However, there's still food back there, and all of these people are here, and they would like to talk to you, and I hope you would like to talk to them. So please use the opportunity, because it doesn't happen very often. Not often enough. And do come on our hikes, and do join our programs. Thank you very much for joining us. Good night.